in just a minute. Share my screen. Let me just see what happens when there we go. Can you see my screen well?
Yep, yes, we can.
All right. Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for joining. As we try to do every month, not every month we can make it, but almost every month we do it. We're doing this May webinar with all the updates on what's happening. And I will like, as always, we have always the same schedule. We try to not to be long. We're not going, there's an agenda with some of the features. We're not going to go over all of them, but you're more than welcome to ask any questions at any point, interrupt me. So I don't know, if you have any doubts or questions or anything related or unrelated to the presentation or to the updates themselves. Just going straight to the point. So we have had during April, like end of April, and in April we had like a maintenance week. Sometimes from time to time we do it. We were gonna have another maintenance week next week, and in those weeks, all the team is just working on things that you guys don't see, and just cleaning the house a little bit. So though that week or the week or that half a month, we don't have many updates. That happened a little bit in 1 week in April, and will happen 1 week next week. Other than that, we so that's why even we don't think that we are slow, but we have slowed down a little bit in during April, and this also month is not a full month on updates, but we continue to work as fast as we can. So what's new in our latest updates, and I'm including the last update in the beginning of this month, as well as the one that is going to be launched next week. We're gonna send for review to Apple Store tomorrow night, and hopefully on Monday night we're going to update. So that's why you will find here some of in components in the list are done, and some others are for next week, but they're like super immediate. So that's why we wanted to show them by next month's webinar. If we had that, they will be already old. Hopefully, talking about other new features that we have on the pipeline. So some of the things that we have been working on. One big thing is the yard sheet upgrade. So this is something that is more on how you see and how you interact. We have been collecting many of the requests of things to improve, and we have put them into a big package of updates for the yard sheet. And for every section, we have a lot of those. So we're just trying to do like less iterations on the same sections. So we have an iteration on the yard sheet. I'm upgrading on it. I'm gonna show it in a minute. We have a new upcoming button for automatically generating load and drop orders. As we progress, when we're having like more and more medium-sized feed yards, they're asking that they will have more, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 pens. And they want to have like a quicker way to reshuffle all the orders when they change stuff in the delivery plan. There's a little thing that we updated last time that came from a user in Twitter. When you're loading and dropping, now you can mute the alert, the sound alert, the sound alarm if you're listening to music. That might seem silly, but there's a lot of people that are like kind of like jumping off the seat because they were like listening to music at certain volume, and then all of a sudden they have the alarm. So just the ability to put it in mute it. We have a new country that's this is not pertinent to you guys, but it's something that is of the context. South Africa, we have a new partner in South Africa, and a couple of farmers in South Africa that are already working with Cadler, and this partner is helping us get there. Well, they have reached out to us and they're very adamant. We were not planning to go to South Africa whatsoever, but they were very adamant that there were opportunities there, and they're like taking the charge on many things. So we're now in South Africa now, and this is for the first time like a second continent outside the Americas. For next week, we have what we call advanced interest, which is the ability to put to work with compound interest, and also define interest not only for cattle but also for different things like feed or the fees themselves. We have something, this is done already, the ability to close out cattle on a pen basis, which was like the previous update, but now also with the CSV file. Like if you're just processing cattle and you have a EID reader on the coming like close to the truck, and you want to let know that those animals specifically, regardless of where they come from, what lot they belong to, or what pen they belong to, they just gone. You can do it in a group basis. So that's cool, and that's something that we have been asked for a while. We have now a grain bank table report. You may remember that grain bank is a recent feature. You don't see it because this is per request, because it's like an add-on feature, but it's working already. Now, so we are doing some things in order for the user to be able, the farmer member to be able to double check on the numbers. So the first thing we're doing here is the grain bank table report, so that you can just check what you have been doing. Like once you have assigned some feed as a grain bank, you can double check that on the report, and then of course it will appear in the billing. So, but you have like a way to debug that situation. Then one of the things that it will be coming out probably next week is the ability to see when you're in the lot, the closeout, not only for the whole lot, but also check the sold parts of the open lot, regardless of the reports, where you can check all the partial closeouts. But just on, like, if you have a lot where you did not sold out all the animals, but you sold the one part, you can check in the same closeout. You will be able to check the closeout. The closeout that you have today is the one for the whole group. But you will be able also to check the closeout for the parts that you have sold, and the closeout for the remaining cattle. So that was something that we were owing. There have been some fixes. One very important that comes from a couple of pains that we have had recently with the should section. There was a couple of cases where the couple of members were processing, I don't know, 100 animals, and something happened, like there was a crash and there was no local copy. So that was really a pain, and so we went like fast into finding a way to make it really offline and storage locally, like the sessions in partial moments. So if something happens, you run out of battery, hopefully the app does like crashes, but hopefully doesn't happen anymore. So you have like a copy to the point where you got there. This is part of like really reinforcing the stability of the should section. There was a one crash, and there were a couple of other things related to new stuff. In general, when we have some crashes, it's because we're launching new stuff and there's something like some inconsistency somewhere around the new stuff, and that's where the crashes happen. But usually we have like a detector for crashes that can quickly identify where the crash was and what was the reason. That's why the crashes never sustain, because we fix them very quick. There were some other fixes and translation stuff and some others that I don't know, it is not even worth mention. So let me show you a little bit about the Yarshed thing. And before that, I also wanted to show you part of what we have been doing. Like last month, we also have been collecting a lot of imagery using a team that we brought from South America to record. I think, I think.
Yeah, Ignacio, can you show it like full screen? We're seeing as if you had slide 4 of 13, the timer on top, and like
It's been
divided.
all the time like that.
Yeah, for the last 5-10 minutes. Yeah, but they're trying to see if it would change. There you go.
That was a question I was doing for you. Like if we were like looking, like watching it. Okay,
There you go.
now
No,
again,
no, it's there. It's still half and half.
I'm sharing the incorrect screen. That's the reason. Can you
Yep,
see it
perfect now.
now? Okay.
Yep.
So as I was saying, we have been collecting imagery, like high quality imagery, just to produce a series of videos that come along with the new web and new material that we're producing. And we are really proud of the quality of what we were able to collect, but also we were very happy with all the things that we got from some of the farmers, some of you guys that are working with us. So we wanted to show this. We have done a lot of videos and we have like imagery for doing like a lot more, but I wanted to show you some of it because I think it's nice to see.
The beef cattle industry to me is our way of life. You know, it's not only providing for our family, but food for the rest of the world.
Being diversified really helps with different markets. The grain market can be high, and the cattle market can be low, and then vice versa. So before we switched the software that we're on now, it was a lot of paper and pencil. It was a lot of Sunday afternoons doing paperwork and make sure you're adding your feed up and
kind of guessing a lot. We've got to know, okay, they need this much dry feed, but if we change this part of the ration, how's that going to affect it? Because with the cost of cattle and the cost of gain, it made a big difference on how much you could make. Now everything's computerized. As long as everything's working, we feed the cattle and I can go sit down for 10 minutes in the evening and know all those numbers real quickly.
Cattler is a cloud-based feedlot system, a lot more user-friendly than other traditional feed yard systems. On the go.
Okay, so I think I wanted to show you part of it. Yeah, there we go. It's online on the web now, so you can just watch it, because I think via Zoom it's not going to be like, it's going to break up a little bit. But I'd like to invite you to watch it. So going back to the features, so the Yarshed at Cattler, and what we have been working on recently is trying to give it more power, in the sense that you can do more things from the Yarshed with more shortcuts, and also make it more useful. I don't know, on a ton of ways. I don't know. One thing is that the rows have to show as much as information you're used to see in a Yarshed report, so that you don't have to go so much to a printed out a report, which is available anyways. but we're just trying to make it more interactive. Also having these buttons on the top where you can do more stuff that you would normally do from other sections. You still can do it from the other sections, but like Yardsheet is like a map of the feed yard. So like giving you a way to do it like right from here. So there's some new buttons, the ability to put like the cost button, we reshuffle the EID, so it's more clear that it's like to find a near ID. We are putting all the what was in the phone into the tablet version and the web version. We have taken away the 2 columns of the on the tablet version, so we have like only 1 row, as you can see here. There's some alerts that I will tell you about in a moment, like the one that is there. So there's people that normally will not put more than 1 lot in 1 pen, but there's many people that do. So this is an example of how that would look like in both situations. And even when the pen is empty, there will be also an option to avoid watching, like looking at empty pens if you don't want. And there's some information on the columns here that was not there yet. And then when you tap into any of these pens, you see that we have added more information. On the chart, you will be able to recognize different rations, especially for when you're like doing splits between different rations. We have added also a line for the average weight of the animals that are in there, regardless they're part of the 1 lot or more than 1 lot. It's like a compound average, and some more metrics there. So it's a little bit all improved. Like there's some in those like cards on the top, you find some information that we have been requested for a while that were not there. So we just reshuffle them in a way that it's like kind of more intuitive to see what's happening at a quick look on this yard. And of course, and coming back, if you tap in the arrow on the right, you will also be able to have like a direct access to the delivery plan, so you can change rations right from the Yardsheet. So this is a lot of things that are here. There's this alert, which is not there yet, but it's anticipating what's coming, because we are working on the like feed planning and the advanced, or like part of what we call advanced feeding, which is a series of features that will allow to do more action, bulk actions for whenever you have like more pens, regarding like how we assign feed to pens, or how we reshuffle all the orders that are there with all the new programming, and the ability to put like step ups in the for every program, and even having a feeding protocol. So if you have like a certain type of animal, you can just assign that program, and then it will already know that this lot will be 15 days in this ration and another 40 days in this other ration, and so on. So it's more giving like more scalability to all the programming, and having to, in less clicks, doing more. Like today is much more manual. As part of that is like that little green, not so little green, yeah, and it's not green, it's a yellow button for the auto generate orders. So this is something that is part of this other package, but we will release it for everyone, so that you can, because we know it is not a big of a deal for us to do it, and it's really helpful. Let's say that you have changed stuff in the delivery plan, and you have like a new pen that has an assigned loads. It's not fitting in any load. We can just reshuffle the loads automatically so that we just fit them in, of course, according to capacity. Or if there's no load with that ration, we will just create a new load for that ration. So that's a nice level of automation. What else? There's some things that I don't have here on screens, but I can show you live if you want, or the designs if you want. Well, the catalog is already there. The grain bank is already there. You can just check it by yourselves. And what we're working on right now for the upcoming updates. So some of the things that I showed last time, they're not there anymore because we already did them. There's a couple of things that we took away because we're like not as strategic or not as urgent as others. So like we are going full on the advanced feeding features, like all what I was talking to you about, the feed protocols, the planning, the step ups. We are going full on the account management features. So the ability to have certain control of what of your accounts, if you're a custom feeder, and who has paid, who has not paid, like all the billing part, and like a credit and debit balance on each account. So those are important things that are coming. We are doing more improvements in the shoot side. And we're just trying to save on steps to do some stuff. We will give even more flexibility. We're reshuffling a little bit the design, so it's like a little bit more friendly. When we are programming, the ability to create a treatment right there without having to go to the animal health section, just out of the blue, assign a treatment and just go and process cattle. And on the design part, there will be some things that there will be the ability to, I can show you some of this stuff, like to add some notes, to put certain temperature. So some more stuff that is there. Also, we will be continue to do some improvements in animal health. So we have been thinking about how we can make it a little bit more useful, even for the veterinarian. So giving more power to the protocols, in the sense that they're more based on the diagnosis, and you can define, I don't know, in the first treatment, I'm gonna put this type of drugs, and in the second and third treatment, I'm gonna put this other type of drugs. So giving more flexibility to the concept of the protocol. Today is more like, I don't know, it's mostly like a cocktail of drugs and dosages, and that's good, but it's not enough. So there will be a reconsideration, and also in the animal health, the ability to, when you're working on the individual animal, being able to add temperature, like add a diagnosis. So like the diagnosis begins to have a little bit more relative importance. So far, it was more like a accessory thing in our system, but it's not accessory in the reality of the animal health management. Other stuff that we're working on is beginning to connect the supply movements with supply purchases, syncing to the purchase part with the accounting softwares, being able to read the SKUs of the pharma products and also the feed products with the QR code, so that you don't have to put all the details and they just go up to the web. More Elanco metrics. So we have launched some of the metrics, but these are not all the metrics that we receive benchmarks from. So we will put in more. And then we will also have the first Cauca features. We have a good size of farms that are working with us that are like grow yards or even Cauca operations or like full cycle. And there's a couple of things that are not really difficult to add in the sense that we can establish relationships between certain bulls and cows and calves, and being able to create the birth and a little bit of the reproductive aspect of animal health. And together with this, we will have the first elements of the pasture side of things. So this is secondary in time to the first 6 points. So the like almost every point here, except for the Cauca features and the pasture features, is the most immediate thing. So we will be launching part of this during June and probably during July. Hopefully all within these 2 months, upcoming months. So I think that's about it for today. Do you guys have any questions or comments related or unrelated to these features? Sorry, I have my well, while you think about it, I wanted to let you know that we will begin again with something that we did in the past and then we stopped doing it just out of busyness, which is the demo days. So demo days are one day where we gather all together at one of our members' farms and we check live some of the things that we are working on, or in general, how's the app working. If you have people that are in the area of where we are going to do the demo day, and we also encourage you to invite them. Is a way in which some people can also, as we have these webinars, you can also check real time and in first hand what's new, how it works and everything. The first or the next demo day that we're going to have is going to be in Osceola in Nebraska at McLean's Chance McLean's farm. It's called M Farm. Ryan or Miguel helped me here to remember exactly the day that
Sure.
this can happen.
Yeah, sure. So the date will be on Tuesday, June 11th. That will be at M Farm in Osceola, Nebraska. We will be having Alfredo Di Constanzo presenting. He's a professor out of University of Nebraska Lincoln, and we'll be doing a presentation on heat stress management during the summer. We will also be having a representative of AHI talking about the Cattler and AHI integration, and we may have some more people as well joining together. We will have some food afterwards, and just trying to share a little bit more about what Cattler is working on right now.
Do you guys have any questions or comments? I see here, per pounds per head adjustment. Yes, Michael. We delayed that. I think we said that we were going to have it about a month ago. It is really silly in the sense of the feature itself, but it has so many consequences across the app that was like it's there, it's half done, but we have stopped there. So at any point, we will like, regardless of like, because one thing, Michael, is that not all I'm not mentioning all the things that we launched. So I'm highlighting some of the main ones that are the anchor to every update. So we sometimes I'm trying to, I don't know, we are listening, I don't know what's more urgent. So this is something that we have been promising for a while. So like Rainbank, we got that Rainbank delayed for a while, but we finally launched it. Hopefully June we'll have the pounds per head adjustment. Do we need to sign up if we want to attend the demo to hear the college professor? Yes, we will be sending a link to
We will be
subscribe.
we'll be officially communicating it, I believe, next week. And with that, we will be presenting a form if you want to show up. I mean, if you want to attend, it gives us a little bit of a head count. But also, if you want to just show up, that's also fine on our end as well. We haven't officially announced it. Just it's going to be something that's going to be done next week.
How large is their field lab? You mean the place where we're gonna do the? Oh yeah, so I don't. Is it Chance here? Chance, you might want to. I'm not sure if this is Chance McLean or Chance from California. Is it you, Chance McLean? So, anyways, McLean Feed Yard or M Farm, I think they handle 12,000 head in 2 feed yards. We are going to be at the North Yard, which I think it handles around 4,000. So in all, the operation is pretty sizable. And the North Yard, I think, is the most recent yard that they have. They have there like one of the micro machines from AHI. Or they have the processing barn. They have a processing barn. So it's a pretty complete feed yard. I think it's interesting as an example, to see how they're working. This is for Heather.
Yeah, and answering the first question of Heather, no, you don't need to sign up.
Oh no,
Just-
okay, great.
You can go there if you.
Okay, yeah. As you can see, we're still in the making with the how is the sign up process or the not sign up process. But yeah, it's like, if you want, we will be sending you all guys like that announcement and reminders. But just to put it in the back of your mind. I think it's in 10 days or 2 weeks from now. If anybody else wants to do a question, moments now. Otherwise, I want to respect the time of everybody. And again, always thankful for participating. We just continue to do our thing, and we really hope you have a great weekend, a good planting, and thank you for everything.